Hey guys, and welcome to Animals and Birds with Anirudh. And I'm finally making this video. This is my trip to Ganeshgudi. So, हम हैदराबाद से plane लेके we reached Belgaum and I could see the Western Ghats from Belgaum airport where we landed, and like the Ghats were visible but they were very far away. Then from the airport we headed to Old Magazine House, which is a resort owned by Jungle Lodges. The Bidar video I made earlier, the same company made this resort also. And this Old Magazine House is the capital of birding in South India. On the way we saw a lot of greenery, and finally we had reached the legendary grand Old Magazine House. So guys, हम अभी ओल्ड मैगजीन हाउस पहुंच चुके हैं. अलग अलग कॉल्स का साउंड सुनाई दे रहा है, बर्ड्स का. मैं एकदम आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. एंड लेट्स होप हमें बर्ड्स दिखेंगे. कल सुबह उठ के बर्डिंग करेंगे. अभी डे 1 है, सो डे 2 में होपफुली और बर्ड्स रहेगा, क्योंकि आज हम इवनिंग में आए हैं. सो अभी के लिए ये है. We woke up early in the morning at day 2 and heard the calls of the greater racket-tailed drongo, which was another lifer. Most birds in this trip were lifers. So we heard the racket-tailed drongo, but we couldn't hear the Malabar whistling thrush, which I really wanted to hear because seeing is very rare. Then we started our morning trek. We saw the Malabar grey hornbill on a tall tree quite far away, and it seemed he was eating berries for breakfast. We enjoyed the walk on the path outside the resort. We were looking for birds everywhere, and then I spotted a crested goshawk in a stream feeding on a rose-ringed parakeet. The sight was spectacular. The walk was from the resort to a checkpost. We walked to the checkpost and saw many birds. You might be thinking, Anirudh, how can there be birds in a checkpost? And the answer to that is there's a fruiting tree near the checkpost, and fruiting trees attract many birds. Some of the birds which we saw there were Asian brown flycatcher. This is a small and a common flycatcher which can easily be seen on this tree. We saw a black-headed cuckoo shrike and blue-capped rock thrush. In the summer, they can be found in Afghanistan, Pakistan and Himalayas. It winters here, and it can be found in South India. Grey-fronted green pigeons are found in the western Ghats of India. We saw 2 individuals, one male and the other female. The males have a brown wing and the females are all green. Both of them have a grey patch on the head. After that, we saw the flame-throated bulbul, which is the state bird of Goa. It had a bright red throat and a yellow body. I really wanted to see this bird and I was satisfied. We also saw the blight starling, which is also known as Malabar starling. It was a pair, male and female. We also saw a velvet-fronted nuthatch but got no video. We also got a quick glimpse of the black-naped monarch. So guys, अभी बर्ड ट्रैक ख़त्म हो गया है. हम लोग बहुत सारे बर्ड्स देख लिए एंड बहुत अच्छे वीडियोस मिल गए. So I'll post all that. And the flame-throated bulbul came to the bath. After waiting for some time, my backyard friend showed up, the Tickle's blue flycatcher. It was in the bamboo thickets, then it came out. We also saw the oriental magpie robin. In the bushes, I spotted the black-necked monarch. It had its own favorite perch, and of course it sat on that and gave us good shots. Later, its mate too showed up. I spotted a blue rock thrush and immediately went to the dining area as it was elevated and I would be eye level with the thrush. Later, it flew further away and gave us a very good angle. We also spotted a western crowned warbler. I found out that the activity at the bird bath starts only at 3:30 p.m. and we decided to roam around the resort in search of birds. We spotted this Malabar barbet drilling a hole in the tree. Keep in mind, it is equally important to do birding in the resort as waiting in the bird hide. In the afternoon, we also had a visit from the flame-throated bulbul. After that, we went near the gate of the resort and found an Indian yellowtit, 2 velvet-fronted nuthatches, an orange minivet, both male and female, and a golden fronted leaf bird. So, one of the guests had told us that they had seen the Malabar trogon near the gate the day before. We went closer to the gates in hopes of seeing the trogon but failed. But we did see a greater flameback female. While all this was happening, one of the guests were leaving and informed us that the little spider hunter had bathed in the bird bath and was gone. We thanked them and just started sprinting towards the bird hide in hopes that it would come back. Unfortunately, we did not see the spider hunter. But we were in time for the crimson-backed sunbird and got a very good shot. The crimson-backed sunbird is the smallest sunbird of India. Now, it was a waiting game of 1 hour. For 3:30 the activity starts. This time, I would not take any chances, so I was waiting the whole 1 hour. While waiting, I saw a black eagle soaring high in the sky. Luckily, this time I had got a shot. We also saw a golden-fronted leaf bird while waiting. It was feeding on nectar. We saw movement in the bamboo behind the bath. They were dark-fronted babblers. They took time to sit on the perches, so I took some shots while they were in the bamboo. Later, they came and sat on the perches and bathed in the bath. They gave me opportunities for some very interesting shots like solo shots, duo shots, trio shots, and even quadruple shots. The monarch also came back to take a dip. These cute little birds are called Indian yellowtits. They gave me a lot of good poses and shots. I had a quick glimpse of the bronzed drongo. This is the oriental white-eye. They love water and live in big groups. We also saw huge groups of brown-cheeked fulvetas. While all this action was going on, a Blythe's warbler was quietly bathing beside. The black-throated munia, which is a bird which is endemic to the Western Ghats, was seen. I was extremely happy to see this bird as it is a munia which lives in dense forests, which is quite unique as most munias preferred farmlands. We also had a visit from the white-bellied blue flycatcher and Tickle's blue flycatcher. After that, I heard rustling in the bushes. It was a puff-throated babbler. It sat and bathed and gave us all good shots. Far away, I saw a lot of movement. So I zoomed in with the camera, but I didn't see the birds. But I did see this brown-cheeked pygmy woodpecker. It is the smallest woodpecker of India. And after waiting for 10 minutes or so, an orange-haired thrush came to bathe. But now it was hard to get extremely good shots as the light was slowly darkening and I had to increase the ISO. If I increase the ISO, the noise and graininess will increase. While waiting for a few more birds to come, we saw a huge group of Asian fairy bluebirds. None of them perched except this one male. And this is the white-bellied blue flycatcher female. Many people assume this to be a tiger or a red-breasted flycatcher, so keep that in mind if you visit Old Magazine House. Dandeli. There is a mystical feeling to this place. We woke up early in the morning and immediately left for Timber Depot. On the way, we encountered a jackal. Timber Depot is situated in the magical forests of Dandeli. When we arrived, we saw a huge fruiting tree. Again, remember that fruiting trees attract many birds, and this was true when we reached. We reached and were greeted by Malabar pied hornbills and yellow-footed green pigeons. We observed many individuals of pied hornbills preening, feeding, and just foraging around and having fun. We also saw these common hill manas. They were having breakfast too. Then we spotted this red-breasted flycatcher sitting on a log. After many people coming to search for it, it got scared and flew and sat on a branch. We could hear jungle owlets everywhere. There were approximately 10 to 20 of them in that area. But before I could start searching, I saw a spangled drongo, also known as a hair-crested drongo. It came and sat on a faraway tree fighting with an ashy drongo. The way to differentiate between this and other species is 1. A strand of hair-like feather on the top of its head. 2. The forked tail is less deep than other species. Next, we saw this golden-fronted leaf bird, and we got no video. Now, try to find the bird in this image. Got it? Pause if needed. This is an Indian nuthatch. It is only 13 centimeters long, and this bird is a rarity here. Later, I tried locating the jungle owlet by its sound, but other members spotted it before me on another tree. This made me realize how many owls could be in an area like this. I expected only one owl, but there were many. Although we only saw one, we could hear calls from deeper into the forest. We went on a path to search for the brown fish owl but spotted this greater racket-tailed drongo instead. We also saw the stork-billed kingfisher searching for fish. Satisfied, we returned to the resort. In the afternoon, we decided to go on the path outside, which turned out to be a wise decision. We saw some movement ahead and saw a greater racket-tailed drongo. We saw another greater flameback, but this time we got a good shot. This time the male was there too. Then, in the bushes, we spotted a white-rumped shama. We were very happy as this was yet another lifer for both me and my father. A bird which I wanted to see a lot was the speckled piculet. The naturalist told us we would not be able to see it as it was a very shy bird, rare and elusive bird. As I was thinking about it, I heard drilling sounds. I turned to the right and voila! Speckled piculet. This made my day and I was very happy. Piculets are 9 centimeters long and are related to woodpeckers. After that, we saw a Malabar parakeet. It was preening and gave us a lot of time to photograph it. Then, back at the hide, we had a visit from the crimson-backed sunbird. I was scared that a spider hunter would not come to the bird bath. Then, I saw a sunbird on the plants, further away from the bird bath. But there was something different about it. Its calls were unlike any other sunbird. So I zoomed in with the camera and boom, little spider hunter. We saw it drinking nectar. We waited for an hour and the first bird arrived at the bird bath. The white-bellied blue flycatcher. It came to take a sip and sat for a very, very long time. And by the way, there were up to 23 birders at the hide itself that day. 23! The day before had 4 birders at the hide, and it's just crazy. Anyway, it drank, yawned, and flew off. The bird which came next was the white-rumped shama. It did not come the day before, so this was when I got superb shots. The next to come was the blight-thread warbler. It bathed and went off. We had another visit from the male shama. We also had a visit from a female, which had a paler and greyish head. The next bird was the oriental magpie robin. This is a yellow-browed bulbul. It gave us very good shots and sat on the perch. After bathing, it went into the bushes. The Asian paradise flycatcher was a delight to photograph. Presently, I have one of these in my backyard, but never got such a good shot. It sat on the monarch perch and then flew and sat on the perch which was right in front of me. The previous day, we could not see the Asian emerald dove. But today it came to the bird bath, drank some water. The bird was very beautiful and poetic in a way. In the forest, they are very hard to spot as they blend in with the leaves. Even today, we had a visit from these cute birds, Indian yellow tits. The female emerald dove also came to have a sip. This time, the dark-fronted babblers arrived later. We also saw the brown-cheeked fulvetta while the other photographers were photographing the birds at the bath. I was photographing this bronze drongo which was right behind me. The black-napped monarch did not sit on its favorite perch and chose this natural perch decorated with flowers. We had another visit from the emerald dove and the puff-throated babbler. I noticed that the white-bellied blue flycatcher female always comes late to the bird bath while the timing of the male can differ. This is an Indian blue robin female. The males look fabulous. It took a quick bath and then just stood there as if it was posing. The video looked like a photo. Like always, the orange-headed thrush arrived at sunset. They came to bathe and had no problem with the low light. When I came to Old Magazine House, I thought we would see a lot of owls. But when we talked with the guide, he told us that nocturnal birds are a very rare sight nowadays. We had heard some owls but didn't see any. And on the final day, this happened. So guys, अभी रात हो रहा है. हम लोग just dinner खाए गोल घर में, the food dining place. But उसके पहले यहाँ पे approximately, you can't see anything, but approximately पेड़ के आसपास हमने एक spot bellied eagle spot किया. And अभी थोड़ी देर में we should be अभी ब्रेक था कि डिनर के बाद we'll try to spot it. So अभी we'll try to spot it. We could not find the owl again, but we were happy that we saw it. The incident was very lucky as it was our last night here. I thought there were some birds which I want to see, like the Malabar Trogon and the Malabar Woodshrike, but I can't see all of them in like one morning of time. So we woke up early in the morning and we saw the naturalist far away searching for something. So we went there and asked what he was searching for. He replied that he heard the calls of the Malabar Trogon. I was extremely excited hearing this. I immediately started looking for it. Other birders slowly started looking and soon there was a small crowd. Then we saw a red flame ball flying when it landed. I was sure it was the Trogon. We had seen the Trogon. Now everything else we saw was a bonus to the trip. Because of the Trogon, we were late to the morning trek, so we did not see a lot of birds. This time on the trek, we saw an emerald dove, orange minivet, Asian paradise flycatcher, and much more. Finally, here are some tips for birding in OMH. Number 1 is, it is equally important to roam around and in the resort and do birding compared to just waiting in the hide. Stay alert for any movements and ask the guide for every call you hear. And it might just be a lifer. Ask the guide about the bird's habitat if you have any special birds that you want to see. Definitely make a list of the birds that you want to see. I personally made a list and saw every bird except 1 or 2. Try memorizing calls of birds, but learning calls of owls is necessary. Record sounds if you don't have the guide with you, and most importantly, have fun. Happy birding and goodbye.